I know Sarah's been hard and getting everything ready for the big day. Yeah.
What's the hardest part?
Just coordination, I think. You just always want to make sure you have, like, we're doing a brat fry, so you'd have to make sure that you have the correct amount. You don't want to run out of, drinks or
Brats?
or desserts.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And when is
right.
that happening?
That is June 21st. Leroy meets in Horicon.
Okay.
10:30 to 2 p.m.
Okay.
And we are partnered with CARES and with BDAA, Beaver Dam Art Association.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
One more time, when is that again?
That is the 21st of June.
Okay.
10:30 to 2, Leroy meets up Horicon.
And that's the actual kickoff day of the 2018 Radiothon. So that's part what PAVE will be doing to raise funds to
Absolutely.
go towards that.
Yeah.
Awesome. So let's talk a little bit, what is PAVE for folks that may not know, and what does PAVE do? And let's start from the beginning.
Okay, good. Yeah. So PAVE is Dodge County's Domestic and Sexual Violence Victim Service Agency. We have several programs. I think we're most well known for our shelter. So we have a 5-bedroom shelter, about 18 beds in there, and depending if sometimes we'll have additional beds, like if we have little kids with a pack and play or something like that. And then beyond that, we do legal advocacy, family advocacy, teen advocacy, sexual assault victim advocacy, and then we have an outreach and education program as well.
And what's the average stay for someone? Is it range from a night to how long?
Yeah, that's such a good question, and people always ask that, and I feel like I don't have an exact answer. I usually say around 45 days, but it really depends. And so we are an emergency shelter, so we want people to really be working hard on, getting things together so they can, move out to a more permanent location, because we do usually have a wait list.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but we do try to work with individual obstacles or struggles that our clients have. So if somebody, is pretty, has been working, they have the funds for an apartment set up, but they just can't find that landlord that'll give them a chance or that will rent to them, we'll of course work with them. And Sarah is one of our family advocates, and so she's really involved in that, and kind of working with our clients so we can hopefully set an appropriate move out date so it's within a good time frame, but also allows them to be successful as well.
Sure. And so what's your role with PAVE?
I'm PAVE's executive director.
Okay. So what does that mean?
Oh, I have no idea what does that mean. So yeah, essentially my responsibility is all like the admin kind of stuff. Okay. So any budget work, working with our board of directors, all the grant writing, those types of responsibilities. And then, I was just gonna say, and then that Sarah is doing the real actual hard work, working with victims and survivors, working with families, working with youth. So she does all that piece.
Great. And how long have you been with PAVE?
Just about 4 years.
4 years.
Yeah.
And did you go to school for this? How did you, or for both of you, how did you end up working for an organization? Because it's such a great service organization. And is that something you wanted, like you knew in college, like, hey, this is what I'm going to get into, helping others? Or how does that come to be?
Yeah, for me it was. So my background's in social work. And back in 2012, I was a social worker for the Department of Corrections in Waupun, and at that time I connected with PAVE, and so Jamie Kratz-Gullickson was the executive director, and I didn't know her, but I just knew of PAVE, knew that it was a good organization, so I just cold called her and was like, hey, my name's Teresa, do you want an intern? And luckily she said yeah, and so I had my master's level internship experience at PAVE. And then after that was completed, I just went on and continued with social work, and then when I learned that this opportunity was available, I jumped on it because I knew that PAVE was an organization that I wanted to be involved with.
That's great. Good for you. And you?
PAVE was actually my second job. I worked full-time for a company that supports people with disabilities.
Okay.
So PAVE was like my second job, just 1 or 2 nights a week, just because I always appreciated what PAVE does. And then I was there about 4 years, and then a family advocate position came open, and I decided that I wanted to kind of change what I was doing. You're still helping people, just needed a career change a little bit. So.
Sure.
Yep.
It's got to be such a rewarding opportunity for both of you, and to be so directly linked with folks that making lives better. Congratulations, because that's great. And
thank you.
Not everyone obviously can do it or does it, and and there's such a huge demand, and I know it's always growing and growing, and another part with the Children's Radiothon that we're able to do so many things for your organization and other local organizations. And last year we had a record-setting year, which was amazing, so we're hoping that we're able to do that again this year. How specifically is the money used from like what we did last year and what we would do again this year?
Yeah, the funds from the Radiothon are used for our children's programming. So we have two separate areas of that, and one of those is for Sarah's position. So again, she's our family advocate, but she also is responsible for all of our children's programming. So it's her job to really connect the youth with the protective parent, whoever that may be, or guardian, as they're connected with PAVE services. And so she does all that piece, and the Radiothon supports that. And then in addition to that, about a year ago, I think, we added our new teen advocate, or she's not really new anymore, but it's a newer program for us. And her name's Amanda Meixner. And her responsibility is really working with the teenage population, doing one-on-one meetings, but also prevention education, teen support group, those types of things.
And that's newer since
yeah,
last year's Radiothon.
Yeah.
And how did that come about? That position that obviously everyone would be, know there's a need for teen help and the like, so.
Right. I mean, that really is what it was, is that we looked at our community and tried to figure out what are we missing? What does our community need? And we realized that if we really want to break the cycle of domestic violence or violence in general, we have to hit that teen population. Specifically, before teens start dating or when they start dating and really start learning about intimate relationships, we want to be there so we can help teach them, like, what does that look like? And some youth don't know. They've never experienced that. They have no idea what a healthy relationship would look like.
That's great.
So basically, we just, identified the need in the community, and then we wrote for grant funds for that, and then used the Radiothon funds for that to bring Amanda on board. So it's been really positive.
Awesome. That is great. Do we have an idea of children versus adults that go through PAVE? Like, for the listeners, how many, if there's 100 folks that go through your organization within a 6-month period of time, how many of those are children? What percentage? Is it even? Is it, are there a lot of kids affected?
Well, absolutely. Yeah, definitely. Our shelter has specific rooms for like singles versus families. So we have 3 rooms that serve families. Some of our rooms can do up to a parent and 3 children, and then our largest room can have a parent and 5 children. So it really depends on the need. Sometimes we have, more singles than families, but even if they don't stay there, we still connect with people, community clients that may have children and want to come in and meet.
That's
So
great.
I don't really know the ratio.
It's all over the board.
It
I mean,
is
it's
all-
different every
Yeah, and we do, of course, use a system that keeps all those stats, but I just didn't bring that today. But no, that's a great question, though.
It's interesting, I
Yeah.
just think that if it does change all the time, or
Yeah.
if there's always children typically involved in the mix with PAVE at some point in time.
I would say typically, yes. Yeah,
Yes,
we're
there
always
is.
serving youth in some capacity. Yeah.
Great. Well, let's talk a little bit about the Nights of Shelter. I don't know if that's
What-
so let's talk about it.
Sounds good.
Inform everybody
Yeah.
what's going on.
So essentially, that's a term we use to describe how many nights we provide somebody in our shelter each year. So in 2017, we provided 4,077 nights of shelter,
Wow.
which is a lot.
That
Like,
is a lot.
I was like, I don't know if
That's-
it sounds like a lot, but
It is, that sounds like a lot also.
Yeah, it's a lot. And then this year, I just pulled our numbers, and we're over 1,500 in May. So it looks like if we track, we're going to hit about the same, around
Sure.
4,000 if we continue. And really this entire year, which this has been unique for me being at PAVE, but our wait list, we've almost always, 99% of the time, had people on our wait list in addition to a full shelter. Yeah. So the need is there. The need seems to be growing, or more people are reaching out, or yeah.
So primarily, where do the funds, so we've got the Children's Radiothon, which we know will be a great help. What other things do you have to do? Where does the money come from? Because obviously it's not an inexpensive thing to be able to have over 4,000
Right.
nights
Yeah, no, for sure. The majority of our funding comes from state and federal grants.
Okay.
So our largest funder is VOCA, and that stands for Victims of Crime Act. And so that's essentially federal dollars that are funneled down through the state of Wisconsin. And then our second largest funder is the Department of Children and Families, and that's state funding as well.
Sure. That is great. Really interesting, because you always wonder, these great organizations,
Right.
they've got to,
Yes.
unfortunately, not, just one children's radiothon won't cover the
Well,
cost when you
yeah.
can do that kind of volume.
Yes, it takes so many supporters, and we're so appreciative of it. And then in addition to that, of course, our local United Ways, the United Way of Dodge County and the Watertown Area United Way are big supporters of us as well. And then Dodge County also provides funding to us. And then our local donors. It's
They're
it's
amazing.
amazing. Yeah, right now we're working on our mid-year mailings. We just kind of send a letter out, let people know like what our stats are looking like. We try to always include something from a victim or survivor that we've served in the past year. And, just staying connected with our local donors is another huge part of what we do.
Sure. Yeah, folks are extremely generous around here, and it shows with,
It's amazing.
with all the different organizations that are really able to stay afloat because of the generosity
Yeah.
from all these folks in this area.
Our community.
It's pretty incredible. For PAVE, we're raising money for the Children's Radiothon with a brat
Brat
fry.
fry.
And what else are we gonna have out there on June 21st?
So we will have brats or burgers, and then we have, chips, a drink, and then we also have desserts. Don't know what they are. Last year they were pretty amazing.
They
Did
were.
you, who cooked? Or who
Last
baked?
year
Who
it was
baked?
volunteers from the Beaver Dam Area Arts Association. So this year I do believe they are going to do some, as well as CARES are going to do some desserts. And like last year they had so many different choices.
It was
so.
awesome. Yeah, and then as we're working it, we're like buying desserts and eating
Sure.
them.
Yeah, why not?
We're
Yeah.
hungry.
Right, dessert for breakfast. I get it.
Right.
And let's tell folks again, so that's June 21st where it's gonna
Yep.
be and time, so they can.
Leroy
put it on
meets
their
in
calendar.
Horicon,
Leroy meets Horicon.
10:30 to 2 p.m.
You just be set up right out.
Right outside, they have a little stand, so
Okay.
that's where we'll be. Come say hi.
And how did it turn out last year?
Pretty good.
It was really good last year. I feel like, I think, is this our third year doing this, for fourth year, something like that? But I think we're fine tuning our process, because it is, so like trying to determine like, how many burgers to buy, how many
Right.
brats to buy. I swear, it's difficult. So
I
I
get
think we're fine tuning it, and I think we've been having some success, especially the past 2 years, I would say.
Great, yeah, so make sure everyone puts that down on the calendar. I know, with all the different organizations, it's just, there's so much going on, but
There
it's all
is.
great stuff to be able to just jump from
Yeah.
one to the other. And I know our John Kraft will be out there for a while, and we'll be doing some live broadcasting from there, and hopefully some live video so folks can see for themselves what's going on and all these baked goods to
Yeah, great.
be able to jump on and take advantage of. That is really good. So anything else we need to hit on, ladies?
I don't think so. No, we look forward to it. Another great year. It's always
Right.
fun working with the radio station, working with other organizations, and so we're really
Excited
looking
for the
forward to it.
bingo. We're supposed to plug the
Oh,
bingo.
yes.
Bingo?
The
Yes.
bingo, yep. At
Our
Bayside.
PAVE team played bingo last year. I
Yes,
think. It
yes,
was
we
really fun.
definitely need
Yeah.
some more people playing.
Now, did
Yeah.
you play the bingo out at Bayside?
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah, I was out there for that as well.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
Yep.
we're looking forward, that'll be at the Bayside Bash,
Mm-hmm.
that Thursday, June 21st, that evening. There'll be all
Right.
kinds of, I know the turnout was great, and we raised a bunch of money, more than what we expected.
Nice.
Yeah, bingo, who knew? Everyone-
People love bingo.
Right, absolutely. So we'll be doing that again out at Bayside Supper Club on June 21st. So looking forward to that as well. Well, thank you, Teresa. and Thank you, Sarah. It's been
Thank
great.
you.
And we will see you all is that next week? Wait.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A
Yeah,
week
it
from
is.
Thursday,
Thursday, yeah.
of a week from
Yep.
this coming
Yeah.
Thursday. So again, folks, thanks for coming out and support PAVE, and we'll raise a bunch of money to keep it rolling.
Sounds
Thank
good.
you so much.
Thank you.
Kirschbaum Strawberry Acres wants to put $150 cash into your pocket this summer. Find the hidden strawberry on one of the pages on dailydodge.com and fill out the registration form, now through June 25th. You must be 18 or older to register to win and may register once per day. Weekly winners will receive a strawberry pie baked by Edith's Cake and Catering. Register now through Monday, June 25th to win the grand prize of $150 cash.
Oh, I asked you which 11 organizations.
Yes.
Well, that's a good one to ask, right?
Oh my
Public
gosh.
service takes time and dedication, but you
sure I
don't
told
have
her
to
she
be
wouldn't get
elected,
her
and
money.
it doesn't have to be expensive. Are you willing and able to give the American Red Cross an hour of time and a pint of blood to save up to 3 lives? This is Ed Schellen asking you to join us on Tuesday, June 12th at Zion Lutheran School in Columbus from 11:30 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. Donate a pint, enjoy soup, sandwiches, cookies, and conversation. New donors and walk-ins are always welcome. That's Tuesday, June 12th from 11:30 to 5:30 at Zion Lutheran School in Columbus. Be a giver. Give the gift of life.
Why do patients choose Columbus Community Hospital's Prairie Ridge Center for Orthopedic Excellence for joint replacement surgery? Improved forming high-quality program that will help you reclaim your life.
Now also serving in Marshall.
Searching for a new career? Visit the Help Wanted page at dailydodge.com. Presented by John Deere Horicon Works. Here are some of the great opportunities that await you. Recheck's Food Pride is looking for a full-time cake decorator. The YMCA has an opening for a childcare and assistant teacher. And Awesome Transport is looking for over-the-road truck drivers. For more great career opportunities, visit the Help Wanted page at dailydodge.com. Brought to you by John Deere Horicon Works. Now hiring for multiple full-time openings.
She's mean and she's offensive. She's profane and divisive. She tweets out nasty misses, and Groves Lloyd is extreme. She voted for a socialist. She calls our country terrorist. She ought to be embarrassed, and Groves Lloyd is extreme. Da-da-da-dum.
At a time when our community should be coming together, Lodi Alderwoman Ann Groves Lloyd is saying outrageous things to tear us apart, personally calling political opponents terrorists and evil bastards, and cheering on others who called them Nazis and children of Satan, and said people who differed with her on tax policy should be damned to hell. We deserve better from our public officials. Call Alder Lloyd at 608-592-4527 and tell her you want civility and unity, not her brand of hate and division.
And Groves Lloyd is extreme.
Paid for by Jobs First Coalition, Inc.
Here's a look at your Weather Eye forecast, powered by weatherology.com. Partial sunshine develops here this afternoon with a high into the lower 70s. Winds out of the east around 10 to 15 miles per hour. For tonight, we'll have a slight chance for showers and storms here late. Mostly cloudy skies, a low near 61, and east winds around 5 to 10. By Tuesday, a slight chance for showers and thunderstorms, a high of 77. I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki on your hometown station, AM 1430 WBEV. Currently, it's 69.
I'm sure you've heard about the big corporate dental chains, but that's not who we are. Dentistry of Wisconsin is locally owned with local dentists and 2 locations, Beaver Dam and Waupun. We offer nearly every service you may need and very little, if any, reason to refer out. Come see us or call today at 920-887-112 and let Doctors Kotz, Metzinger, Truckenbrod, and our entire staff put you at ease. Dentistry of Wisconsin, where your smile means more.
When the really hot weather arrives, you'll want your house crisp and cool. Did your air conditioner seem like it was struggling last year? You just weren't as comfortable as you should be? It could be that you don't need a whole new air conditioner. It could be that you can get your current system back up to maximum capacity. Call Air Care in Beaver Dam. The first thing they'll do is see if what you have can be fixed. They've got a whole toolbox full of solutions that could help. Maybe some balancing or zoning. Spot cooling is a possibility, or it could be as simple as topping off the refrigerant. If you have a home comfort problem, give Air Care a call. Have them come out to your home. Let their experts make sure you're getting maximum capacity out of your air conditioner. Air Care at Beaver Dam will come with a toolbox filled with solutions and problem-solving experience. They're the home comfort experts. Air Care is on the web at aircareinc.com or get them on the phone at 800-281-4676.
Think pink, dress pink, bring pink, be pink. Join the fun at the 14th Annual Pink Ribbon Classic Ladies Golf Invitational on Wednesday, June 13th at Old Hickory Golf Club. The Pink Ribbon Classic Golf Outing is a step-aside scramble that promotes breast cancer awareness and supports the University of Wisconsin Carbone Cancer Center and the Beaver Dam Community Hospital Breast Health Program. The event features golfing, raffles, prizes, lunch, and dinner. The day begins at 10:30 a.m. with registration and lunch. A shotgun start at noon kicks off the golf outing. and a silent auction, dinner, and educational guest speaker round out the evening. Sign up today by calling 920-887-7534. Be a part of the celebration and join in on the fun at the 14th Annual Pink Ribbon Classic Golf Outing by calling 920-887-7534.
12:59 from AM 1430 WBEV. Beaver Dam. Take advantage of the Countryside Ford Quick Lane Works package. Oil change, tire rotation, and free inspection, just $39.95. No appointment necessary. Available Monday through Saturday. And stop in for an AC check. Countryside Ford, 330 Transit Road, Columbus. Time now for more of today's community comment. Here again is your host, Ryan Gable.
Well, thank you very much, Cale. I am joined here by Kathy Barnes from the Dodge County YMCA and Bev Beal Lake from Church Health Services. Thank you very much, ladies, for joining me.
Thanks for having us.
Hard to believe it's another Radiothon.
No kidding. It came very quickly.
Yeah, it's amazing, isn't it? As the years just seem to go faster and faster, and here we are again a week from Thursday to make it all happen again and raise a bunch of money for local organizations like yours. So let's start with Church Health Services. What's new? Let's tell the listeners and the viewers what you guys do over there.
Well, Church Health Services is pretty involved with providing some mental health care and dental health care to adults and especially now children of the area. And by area, that's a general description because we serve outside of Dodge County, Jefferson, Greene, Marquette, Columbia to a degree. Anybody who needs dental care and especially children, because we know the needs are great, and qualify for our services. And to qualify, you just need to be, your household income needs to be under 200% of federal poverty guidelines. You cannot have private insurance. If you have private insurance, then that's theoretically supposed to be helping you cover that. But you might, for our dental care and our mental health care, you might have a Medicaid HMO that we're approved to utilize, and that can help with the cost.
Great.
But it's low-cost care, specifically designed to help those people who wouldn't get it any other way.
And I would imagine your organization is always busy as well.
We are. We are very, very busy, but there are many more people in need. So we're doing what we can to make sure that we can serve more and more.
Awesome. And let's talk a little bit about the YMCA of Dodge County. What do we know? What's new over there, and what are we doing for the Radiothon?
Right now, our biggest thing is trying to raise funds for our financial aid program, which provides services for low-income families to be able to come in and use the Y, participate in our programs, and also for childcare.
Okay, that's great. And that I would imagine there's a good handful of folks that be able to stay healthy, use all the different programs that have. It's not just going to the gym to work out or play basketball. When we talk a little bit about what the Y does and some of the different programs that they offer.
Most of it goes towards kids to come in and do swim lessons and to participate in our sports programs.
In the sports programs.
And big part for the child care department.
The child care, that's a big part of it as well.
It is.
Yeah, I would imagine every time I've been there, there's definitely a lot of children in the child care area, that's for sure. So, so with the 2018 Radiothon, how would the money be used for Church Health Services? Where it specifically from last year or in this upcoming year, where do those funds go and how were they used?
Well, those funds definitely get used to provide the mental health care and the dental health care that children in our area would need. We have entered into a partnership with the Beaver Dam Unified School District, and also this year we added the Waupun Area School District. So our counselors spend time in those school buildings and they interact with the staff and the counselors there, the guidance counselors that are there, to work with kids that either the staff or the counseling staff have recognized need a little extra, or they're struggling, or there's something going on at home that's causing them angst or stress, whatever it is, whether it's bullying. Our counselors are able to help those kids learn some coping techniques and mechanisms and how to better deal with some of the issues that they have. So their first Our counselor's first piece was to become familiar to the students in the schools. And I do know, as a matter of fact, that when their first visit to the Waupun School District, that there were at least 19 children identified as already needing some help in learning, some coping, or some how to help change the behaviors that were not helping them succeed in school.
Sure.
So they kind of hit the ground running there, and they had a little bit of a track record going with Beaver Dam. So our counselors are kept quite busy, and of course that does have a cost to it, and we are not turning away any children at this point. We're not necessarily using if it's a school child, whether or not they have an income above or below, because we just feel like the kids, and especially elementary age kids, but kids all the way on up, they need those interventions early so that they can deal with the problems before they become too big to be able to deal with easily.
That's great. So how does that work with church health services? Do you have not only dentists and psychologists, psychiatrists that are full-time, or do they do pro bono, or how does explain to me how all
that's
that
a really good
works.
question. Really good question. Our mental health counselors to our paid staff, Church Health Services paid staff, and they are licensed therapists through the state.
Okay.
So they're not psychologists or psychiatrists, but they're the licensed therapists. We have 3 altogether, and one of them is a gentleman who has embarked on a second career. He retired from his first job, which was working in corrections, and went back to school and got his therapy degree, his counseling degree. However, in order to get that final piece of paper from the state, you need 3,000 hours of mentored counseling. So bless his heart, he's working with us and our counselors to achieve those 3,000 hours as a volunteer.
That's great.
The pay for our dental staff and or our counselors that are on staff is nowhere near what they could make in private practice.
Sure.
We have a full-time dentist and a part-time dentist, and if they were working out at a private dental clinic, they would be making a lot more. But they felt that they could better serve people working with clients and patients who are low income and wouldn't get it any other way. So we're really grateful for them. So part of that cost is covered. But the other piece is, if you think about dental work, there is always a lot of disposable equipment that has to be used, and there's a cost attached to that, because clearly we don't want to reuse stuff unless it's sterilizable.
So where does the doctors practice then? Do you have
the 2 dentists that we have, we have 4 dental operatories right at Church Health Services.
Which is located where?
115 North Center Street here in Beaver Dam, corner of Center and Maple.
So that's set up right there?
It's set up right there. They can come in. We have 4 dental chairs along with all the equipment through some successful grant writing on the part of our executive directors over the year and some great donations. We are supported only by private donations and or grants, individual donations. That's how we survive. So we have to utilize that money the best way we possibly can.
So the Radiothon makes a huge difference.
It really does.
And especially with like last year raising, over $140,000.
Absolutely.
To the different organizations. I know it made a huge difference for everyone, because money's always tight.
Oh, it is. For a nonprofit, that's usually always an ongoing concern. And most nonprofits are out there to help service a portion of the population that maybe isn't able to get those services. The Y, yes, I have my membership at the Y and I love it, but I also know people who don't have that same level of income to afford that. So the Y scholarship program is wonderful for them to be able to come in and be a member just like everybody else and benefit from the activities that the Y has available, because there are a lot of free programs that you can utilize as a member for exercise and other
Especially our
health-related
older
benefits.
adults.
Yes.
Especially our older adults. We have a good turnout. We're always very happy to see, because I know a lot of them wouldn't be able to come.
If there wasn't the assistance.
Exactly, yes. There would no way they could be able to come. And they enjoy it
Oh, my gosh. Yes, they do. I actually volunteer lead a class there
Oh,
3
you
days
do?
a week, yeah.
In the pool?
In the pool.
Mm-hmm.
In the pool, in the Family Adventure Park, and I have an older group.
Yep.
The wise ones we are.
The wise ones. That's perfect. Do you lead any classes in the pool,
No.
Kathy?
No.
Not yet? That'll be next.
Never.
That'll be this coming up year.
I have too much doing computer work.
Computer work, that takes the time, and it's really great. It is an amazing facility, and just, again, you think, because all Ys are different, you know, and I've been fortunate to travel and see a lot of them throughout the country, and this one is so impressive, and it has so many different things. I think that most folks probably, if they're not, like anything, if you're not directly involved with it, you may not realize how many different things and different opportunities there are for all different age groups, not only sports, but childcare and the different resources that go along with it. It's awfully impressive, and we're very fortunate to have something like that in our community. And again, that same thing with the others. It takes a lot to keep it up and rolling.
Yes, it does.
And the staff that's there, and I'm sure the heat bill in the winter, there's just so many things that
Probably
happen.
the cost of the water in the pool alone.
Right, that
When I think
alone,
about that.
yeah. But to be able to have something like that in a community this size is pretty amazing. So what are we doing this year to raise money?
Oh, well, the partnership between Church Health Services and the YMCA of Dodge has just taken off. Next week.
Yes.
Starting
Monday.
Next week, well, starting Monday.
Monday
next week.
Starting on Monday, the 18th. Healthy morning snack, or it could be your breakfast. We're utilizing the Y facility as our site for most of the fundraisers, with the exception of our Thursday lunch in Fox Lake, which we'll get to.
We'll get to that, okay.
So Monday and Wednesday, you can come to the Y between 8 and 10 and grab a fruit and yogurt parfait.
$3.
Cheap
She
breakfast
knows that
and
stuff.
healthy.
And you're, we'll have fruit, and if you don't want strawberries, you don't have to have strawberries.
Okay.
You just go with the blueberries. or
It's kind of a make it your own thing.
Okay.
I'm not
Yes.
making them ahead. That way, people can definitely come
Somebody's
in.
ringing.
Sorry,
It's all right, it's probably an important one.
it's a fan.
It's a fan? Call and ask a question about the breakfast at the Y on Monday and Wednesday from 8
Wants
to
us to
10.
reserve a fruit and yogurt parfait
Right,
for that on Monday.
absolutely.
And then following that, from 11 to 1 on Monday, June 18th, there'll be a salad bar offering. So if you're one of those noon exercisers, you don't have to worry about lunch that day. Just stop and get your salad bar lunch to go.
And where will all this be set up at?
Right in the lobby when you come in the front
Right in
door.
the
Right in the main lobby.
Main lobby at the
Yep.
Y.
You won't be able to miss it.
Won't
We make
miss it?
sure of that.
We'll
Okay.
be right in front of the pools.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And there will be probably a few tables to sit and enjoy your
Yes.
food if you like.
Yep,
Okay.
I'll have tables set up.
Otherwise, we know that a lot of people are on the go, and we wanted to address that need as well. And then June 20th, which would be the
Wednesday.
Wednesday,
Yep.
fruit and yogurt parfait to start out. And if you happen to be one of those 11 to 1 p.m. visitors, or make a special trip, that's okay too. We're going to have walking tacos.
Ooh, I love them.
I
That's
do
great.
too.
Yeah.
They're good.
Yep.
And then Thursday at the Leroy Meats in Fox Lake.
Thursday.
Church Health
21st.
Services and the
Yes.
Y on June 21st, which is a Thursday, will be there from 12 to 3, selling burgers and brats and chips and beverages.
Okay.
So you can make it a meal deal, or you can just get your burger or brat to go.
Okay. That is great. And that's the day of the Radiothon from
Yes.
12 to 3. Like we talked before, John Kraft will be out roaming and going to all the different
Yes. Yes.
events. So we will have a little visit from him and get on the air and
We'll be
remind
there
folks.
again.
You'll be there again? How did it go last year?
I was not there
Well, we
last
weren't at
year.
Leroy's, we were in Fox Lake.
Okay.
So we actually set up by on Lake Time, and we worked with Max Barbecue, which was there then, and sold pulled pork sandwiches and hot dogs, and worked with Annabelle's in Beaver Dam, and actually did ice cream sundaes.
Oh, fun.
So you could have a sandwich and dessert.
And it went well?
It did go well.
Great.
Did go well. But this year we'll be at the new Leroy's.
In
Fox
I'm
Lake.
sorry.
In Fox Lake.
Yeah.
Beautiful
facility,
Yes.
and I don't know if they quite have their brat stand up and running, but we have a really great place to be serving our sandwiches and things outside.
So it sounds like we should have food covered for
Food
that
should
week,
be.
especially on Radiothon Day between all the
Yes.
different
All except
smaller
Fridays.
communities. We should, there's really no excuse. There'll be plenty to eat for folks to go out during the morning and day to be able to help raise money for these great organizations because, as we know, they all need help. And that's what we're here to do. It's hard to believe it's the 21st year of the Children's
That's
Radiothon,
amazing,
so this
too.
should be a big year that if we can get over the $2 million mark for these 21 years and 100% of that money has stayed here locally, that'll be a pretty great thing to celebrate for everyone involved. So hopefully another record-breaking year and
We're
we
working
can
on that.
celebrate the $2 million mark. So
Nice.
that's pretty amazing for an area this size, how generous folks are and what's been able to be accomplished over those 21 years.
And to benefit so many agencies with one event is really a big plus too.
Yeah, we're looking for, it's always a big deal around here on the calendar and, because some long days and, Taylor and Brenda do a great job and they're putting so much time into this because of the scheduling and just different organizations and there's so much going on with 27 hours of on-air auctions and all the partners we work with donating these items. It's a big animal.
It's huge. I give the radio station a lot of credit because that's an organizational feat in and of itself to get all of those components set to go. First off, to gather them all together and to have it pull off, and especially when you're working with so many agencies.
Yeah, so many agencies, so many different partners, but yeah, without all those great partners donating these items, there would be no auction for folks to bid on and be extremely generous. So we're very fortunate to those folks here in our area. So good stuff. Anything else, ladies?
I don't think so.
Got it all
We're
covered?
assembling all of our needed ingredients for all these great meals.
Do you need any more volunteers or help or anything like that?
We can always take more volunteers, either that week or
Ongoing.
whenever.
Yes.
You just let us know. I think between the Y and Church Health Services, we have something for everyone as far as the volunteer goes.
So if you're looking for some volunteer opportunities,
Call us.
give them a call. That's great. Kathy Barnes and Bev Beal Lake, thank you so much. And
Thank
we'll
you.
be seeing you all really soon again
Yeah.
and looking forward to a big week next week.
Yes.
Awesome. Good weather.
Good weather. It'll be perfect. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
Find out what's happening on Wall Street every weekday here on AM 1430 WBEV with the Wall Street to Main Street Closing Stock Market Report. The Closing Market Report airs at 5:20 every Monday through Friday from the offices of your local Edward Jones Investment Advisors in Beaver Dam. Matt Emmer's office delivers the report every Tuesday. See why Edward Jones Investment Advisors have been ranked among the best advocates for their clients. See Matt Emmer at 1748 North Spring Street, Beaver Dam.
Keep up with the latest in high school sports on DailyDodge.com. Brought to you by Kevin Carnine, American Family Insurance, and Reed Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram.
If you're an older adult and need help to stay at home, there's a service and a place you can turn to for help right here in Dodge County. We are celebrating our 10th year as the first place you should call or visit for unbiased information and help with issues and challenges that older adults and the disabled face every day. This is Chris Schacht, Supervisor of the Aging and Disability Resource Center in Juneau. We can answer your questions about Medicare, help you with meals or transportation, and much, much more. Everyone who hears this message is invited to our birthday party and WBEV WXRO Brat Fry at our offices in Juneau on June 14th. We'll have special displays and free giveaways too. Enjoy delicious Pernod Premium Brat and a soda for $1.50 on Thursday, June 14th from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. The Aging and Disability Resource Center is located in Juneau in the former Clearview Building at 199 County Road DF in the north side of Juneau. Just look for the signs. That's Thursday, June 14th from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. A brat and a soda for just $1.50.
Right up there with Badger Athletics, there's nothing more important to me than my family. Keeping them safe is my top priority. That's why when it's time to travel, I care about the roads and bridges we drive on. I know that sometimes we need to make tough decisions about how we spend our money. But for my money, safety is key, and safe roads are a great investment. My cargo is precious, but I have the confidence that we will arrive where we're going on the winning side.
Wisconsin Transportation Builders Association, supporting Wisconsin's economy one road at a time.
Public service takes time and dedication, but you don't have to be elected and it doesn't have to be expensive. Are you willing and able to give the American Red Cross an hour of time and a pint of blood to save up to 3 lives? This is Ed Schellen asking you to join us on Tuesday, June 12th at Zion Lutheran School in Columbus from 11:30 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. Donate a pint, enjoy soup, sandwiches, cookies, and conversation. New donors and walk-ins are always welcome. That's Tuesday, June 12th from 11:30 to 5:30 at Zion Lutheran School in Columbus. Be a good neighbor. Give the gift of life.
Over $21,000 in prizes are up for grabs with the 2018 95 Days of Summer giveaway. To register, just look for the Countryside Auto Group 95 Days truck with the Hometown Glass and Improvement 95 Days of Summer display at Brat Fry's, Dodge County Fair, and more local events. Winners will be drawn September 7th at the Brat Fry at Hometown Glass and Improvement. 14 lucky winners will take home one of many great prizes, including $5,000 worth of windows from Hometown Glass and Improvement, a customized pet package from McAllen Pet Expo, landscape lighting from Dauman Electric, grills and accessories from Newman Pools, a $500 gift certificate from Slumberland Furniture, $1,000 in flooring from Professional Floor Covering, $2,000 in seamless gutters from Rainaway Seamless Gutters, and much more. For complete rules and details, visit the contest page at dailydodge.com. Brought to you by Hometown Glass and Improvement, it's the 95 Days of Summer giveaway from WBEV, WXRO, and dailydodge.com.
Hirschbaum Strawberry Acres wants to put $150 cash into your pocket this summer. Find the hidden strawberry on one of the pages on dailydodge.com and fill out the registration form, now through June 25th. You must be 18 or older to register to win and may register once per day. Weekly winners will receive a strawberry pie baked by Edith's Cake and Catering. Register now through Monday, June 25th to win the grand prize of $150 cash.
Public service takes time and dedication, but you don't have to be elected and it doesn't have to be expensive. Are you willing and able to give the American Red Cross an hour of time and a pint of blood to save up to 3 lives? This is Ed Schellen asking you to join us on Tuesday, June 12th at Zion Lutheran School in Columbus from 11:30 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. Donate a pint, enjoy soup, sandwiches, cookies, and conversation. New donors and walk-ins are always welcome. That's Tuesday, June 12th from 11:30 to 5:30 at Zion Lutheran School in Columbus. Be a good neighbor. Give the gift of life.
20 minutes after 1 o'clock from AM 1430 WBEV. It is time once again for more of today's community comment. Here's your host, Ryan Gable.
Well, thank you, Kale. I am here with Care for Dodge County with Kathy Teletsky.
Yes.
You did that all right?
Yes, you
okay.
did.
And Wendy Borner, welcome, ladies.
Thank you very much.
So let's talk a little bit first. Let the listeners and the viewers know that because we're on video. Did you wave? I know. Did you get the memo that we're going to be on live video?
Yes, I heard about it last night. So I'm very excited.
Excellent. We'll put this right up closer to you a little bit.
Okay.
So, Wendy, let's start. What is Care for Dodge County?
So Care for Dodge County is a 501c3 nonprofit organization located here in Beaver Dam. And CARE stands for Community Awareness and Recovery Environment. Our mission is empowering families choosing a life of recovery. So CARE was created to bridge the gap between addiction to recovery, and we offer all different pathways to recovery. So we were excited. We got a grant last year, and we implemented an ED to recovery program, so Emergency Department to Recovery. We currently have 18 certified and trained recovery coaches. So we are working in our local hospitals. We're working in Fond du Lac Hospital, Waupun Hospital, Beaver Dam Hospital, soon to be Columbus, and possibly Ripon.
Wow, so you're really getting
spread out. Yeah, we actually our recovery coaches are on call 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And amongst that, we also have support groups that we hold for the families and the person in recovery. And we also hold a grief support, and we try to provide a lot of sober events.
Okay, that's great. So go back real quick. So when does CARE come into this process then? So if someone goes to a hospital because of addiction, and they're in the hospital, that's when
a nurse or a staff member at the hospital will call our on-call service, and they'll dispatch the on-call recovery coach.
Okay.
So they'll actually go up to the hospital and they'll meet with that person. If there's a family member there, we can train them how to do Narcan administer the Narcan. And
What's Narcan?
Narcan is,
The opiate reversal.
Yeah.
So that if somebody is, has an opiate use disorder,
Mm-hmm.
then the Narcan, the nasal spray, it knocks the opiate off of the receptors in the brain. So that way they'll come back.
Yeah, it's a reversal of an overdose.
Right.
Yeah. So we actually have Narcan, and we can provide that to the family members if they're there at the hospital, in case the person doesn't choose to get help at that moment and they go home and they may use again or possibly go into another overdose. So they'll have the Narcan handy. So we do that, and then the recovery coach would meet with that person and try to advocate to get them into services. If they choose not to, or, you know, there's a long waiting list, or they don't have insurance, they would still follow up with them aftercare every single day for that first week, and every other day the second week, and then we would continue to follow them for a year. But what we would do is a lot of harm reduction with them until they can get in somewhere to get some treatment.
And what does that mean, harm reduction?
Harm reduction is where we would, if they're not ready to quit right away, they haven't convinced themselves, maybe they're using twice a day, we put the recovery back in their hand to choose. And we say, well, you know, what are your goals? Why don't we try using once a day for the next week? Kind of try to taper them down so we can get them into some help.
Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah, it is.
And I can imagine, you know, with everything in the news, that this organization isn't slowing down.
No.
Unfortunately.
Unfortunately,
You know,
yeah,
we'd love
it is
to
a
see
sad.
day where.
Yeah, it is a sad thing that we are in need. But we started out with this ED2 recovery program, and we're actually branching out. We are working with law enforcement, so if they come across somebody that does want help, they can call our on-call service, and we'd also dispatch an on-call recovery coach and meet them either at our office or the police department, or even the hospital if they choose.
That's great.
And we do have professional visiting rights, so we can go into the jails and follow up. So if they do overdose and they're on extended supervision or probation and parole, and they're on a hold in the jail, we can actually go in there after 72 hours after they've been medically cleared and follow up with them, which is good, because then we build that bond, that connection, and when they're ready to release, hopefully then they'll be ready for some treatment.
Sure. So really, it's a big part of it is a sobriety coach and day-by-day step of,
Yeah.
hey, here's what we're gonna do today, this is what we're gonna, and
Yep.
we'll attack tomorrow, and when
Yep.
tomorrow comes, and
Yep.
one day at a time.
Yes, and it seems to work a lot better because it's like a peer-to-peer, so it helps.
It's not a group setting, it's just
Right.
one-on-one.
Or it's not a counselor, more of a professional,
Sure.
because sometimes they feel that they use bigger words and looking down on them. They actually can connect with somebody. A lot of our coaches are in recovery.
I was
so-
just gonna ask that, where do the
Yep.
coaches, the 18 coaches come from? They just live in the area?
Yes.
Where does?
Some of them, you know, are from our area, and the other ones, everybody has been affected somehow
Yeah.
from addiction. All of our coaches,
They have to have a lived experience,
right.
either in recovery or like myself, I'm a mother of a son that has substance use disorder, so they have to be affected in order to get the training.
And is that a volunteer position? Is it?
It used to be a volunteer position. It is still half volunteer. So with the ED2 recovery, if they show up at the emergency departments, we have a grant that pays for the payroll of the coaches for that. Anything else, if Child Protective Services or a community member or law enforcement wants to utilize us, that's all volunteer, because we don't have the money to actually pay the wages.
Sure.
So,
yeah, and that way too, then even if they have different, you know, substance use disorder besides just the
Yes.
opiates, we still provide coaching through volunteer services then.
That's great. Now, are you always looking for more coaches as well? Could you use more coaches?
right at the moment, I think we're okay.
You're sitting good for.
For
okay.
right at the moment until maybe we bring on Ripon Hospital. But,
then
yeah, right now,
build
but we
some.
could always use more volunteers, and we're looking for some board members and,
Board members, what other kind of things do you all need volunteers for?
oh, we do a lot of events. No, not last year, the year before, we did a lot of parades. We do brat fries, we're doing the Children's Radiothon this year. we want to do more sober events. So we have a sober game night once a month. It would be nice to have volunteers help us with that. But the biggest thing is we want our office open.
Sure.
So anybody can walk in. During the day, it's not open because we all work full-time jobs.
Right,
So
yeah.
we're
Where's
open.
the office located?
900 Green Valley Road.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So primarily, what are the hours then right now, until we can find more volunteers? What are the hours that it's
Right
open?
now, the hours are usually at night when we're running these support groups.
Running the groups?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So,
That's great. So what are we gonna do this year to raise money? I know you said something, you have an ongoing brat fries
Mhm.
during the year. What specifically are we doing for this year's Radiothon to raise some
We're
funds?
doing a brat fry over at Leroy Meats in Horicon, and it starts at 10:30 and it runs till 2. And I'm going around this week to put out flyers over in the factories, hoping that we can get some bigger orders to make it more of a success this year.
Sure. Yeah, what day is that on?
The 21st.
The 21st? And Leroy Meats
Yep,
in Horicon.
yes.
So put that on your calendar if you're in that
Yes,
area.
definitely.
Leroy Meats is gonna be busy, because the new one in Fox Lake I know also has, which is great.
Right.
And thankful to them for being so supportive with all these different organizations.
And the
because
events, yes, they are big supporters for our community.
That's amazing. And, yeah, we're definitely not gonna be a shortage for food that day.
No.
There's no
No.
excuses for not
Right.
dining out.
But it's all
and
good food,
It's
so,
good food,
yes.
good for you.
Yes,
Well, I mean,
yes.
a burger, why not? It's summertime.
Right.
And it goes to a wonderful cause.
Yes.
So how did you all get into this organization though? I know you said because of your son. Is that how you
Yes.
found out about it?
Actually, I founded the Kid for
Okay.
Dodge County. A bunch of us moms were affected because our children had substance use disorder. So we started some support groups originally, and that's how we started. And then we founded CARE, and CARE was more going to be an umbrella because there was our support groups and other groups that were trying to bring more resources to Dodge County. Our county lacked a lot of resources, so we had committee members on there, the DA, the drug court, the sheriff and stuff, probation and parole, and group leaders, and we were trying to figure out what kind of resources we needed. So with that, we brought Alaris Counseling to Beaver Dam. So eventually it ended up, we knew we had to go nonprofit. So we put together a board and we made it into a corporation, made it into a 501c3 nonprofit. And we still work with all the community organizations, and the probation and parole and DA. But now it's more of, it's a building, we want to run support groups, we want a sober environment, because when we get people in recovery, we need to sustain that. And the way we're going to sustain that is building a recovery environment, so.
And so how long has it been going? How long, since you started it then, how long have you all been going?
We became a corporation in May of 2016. We moved into our building in January 2017 and opened it up in February.
Great, so it's still fairly.
It's fairly new,
How
but
many-
it's growing very
I was gonna
fast.
say, and
Yes.
this hasn't slowed down.
Not at all.
Any idea on the number of folks that you've been able to work with, help?
Well,
Keep expanding like crazy.
we present in schools too, so we help a lot through the support groups with the ED2 recovery. I think we had 14 calls possibly, and we have about 6 active volunteer that we're working with people recovering, or recoveries that we're volunteering our help with.
Right.
So, but other than that, we're always helping with the support groups. We started the grief support group. Tammy helps us with that because with the stigma tied to addiction, a lot of the families weren't dealing and working through their grief process. So we thought that would be a great group, bring them here where it's a safe and warm environment and work through the grief process.
How do folks find out more info on Care for Dodge County?
Well, we actually just put together a website. Granted, we're still putting content in it, so there is some information, we're still working on it, and that's the www.carefordc.org.
Okay.
Otherwise, we have a Facebook page, and it has,
That is?
yeah,
So just go to Facebook and.
Care for Dodge County. Yes.
That's really interesting when you think about it though. because again, there's stories, and I know we've talked, and
Yes.
there's just so many folks that are affected by this, and it holds no barrier. It doesn't discriminate.
No, it does
for
not.
anything.
No.
It doesn't matter what your background is,
Where you come from.
where you come from, your education level, income level. Really, it does not discriminate. So.
And I think a lot of people don't understand, that's why we talk in the community and schools, that it doesn't just start by using heroin. It starts sometimes by an injury and, using the pain medication, and your body becomes physically and chemically dependent on that. And then when you're no longer needing that, you're still dependent.
Sure.
So I think pain medicine, if you were to buy it on the streets, is like $1 per milligram, where heroin's cheaper. And it's much easier to get to. So, a lot of people don't understand that it's the medication that's prescribed by your doctor. If you're not using it right or you use it too long, that's what you become addicted to. You don't just wake up one day and say, I want to start using heroin.
Well, and it is a brain disease.
Yes.
So if you have any type of alcoholism or addiction in your family, predisposition to it.
Yeah.
So a lot of times then, if you have that in your family history, all you have to do is get prescribed that one time.
Yes.
And it triggers that in your brain. Because it affects, all the drugs affect your brain differently, but still affects your cortex.
How are we gonna use the money this year from the Radiothon that we're?
Well, that's what I was going to say. I'm so grateful we were picked or chosen for the new organization this year. Children's Radiothon is a great fundraising. It helps support all nonprofits in our community. So thank you very much. We will be using that money for what the other grant doesn't help with. So we want to be able to help law enforcement and pay our coaches. We want to be able to help other community members that just contact us and say, my family member wants a coach. Because we're employers now, you can only let them volunteer so many hours, and then you can kind of cross that line of getting in trouble. So we do need to pay them. We also want to start some smart recovery groups for the person in recovery and their family members. And that involves some training and having a facilitator for that. That will be a new pathway because we support all different pathways.
Okay.
So.
And it started in Beaver Dam.
Yes.
And now it's expanded out to other hospitals. You said
Yes.
Waupun.
Fond du Lac.
Fond du Lac, soon to be Ripon, possibly?
Columbus first.
Columbus first.
And then possibly Ripon.
So do those communities not have organizations like Care for Dodge County? And for instance, there's nothing like this in Fond du Lac?
Correct.
Or that's amazing.
Yep. They do have now a Fond du Lac Drug Task Force, and we work closely with them and have meetings with them. But no, they do not have an organization like this. And this actually is a unique situation, to have recovery coaches going into the emergency department. We actually received this grant from Wisconsin Voices for Recovery through the UW. They received $1.4 million, and it was the governor's response to the opiate epidemic. Because a lot of people don't have insurance or underinsured, or it takes weeks to get in somewhere. So a recovery coach can basically work with them until we can hand them off to a recovery environment or, a treatment center. So.
That's fantastic.
I forgot your question.
Yeah, that's something.
But yeah, this is unique.
Yeah,
so,
I was just
totally
saying,
unique.
that a city like Fond du Lac doesn't have a Care for Dodge County.
Yeah, actually, the police department came to us. They heard about us through the hospital, and they're starting a new amnesty program, and they want to utilize our coaches that are on call. So it's a two-part program. If somebody goes to any law enforcement and asks for help, they would call us. Or if they get picked up and they have drug paraphernalia and it's a smaller amount, if they get treatment and work with our coaches, they will not get charged. So they're just now getting the program put together and training their officers, and then we'll be utilizing it. Fond du Lac County Jail also wants us to start a release program with them. So when people release out of the jail, they would have a recovery coach. So there's a lot of work to be done.
There's a lot going on,
Yes.
especially because you do it part-time.
Yes. We work more than full-time at our regular jobs, and this is our fun job.
Right, the fun,
Yeah.
absolutely. What's been the best part since you all started this?
Well, my best part would be just having somebody in recovery.
I think my best part is being able to help other family members, because my son suffers from substance use disorder for 15 years, myself off of them. So I didn't get it.
Sure, sure.
Yeah, my best part is helping the families. I mean, there was one situation before this program where a mother called me. And, you know, she was withdrawing. She had overdosed and she was kind of a little hostile towards me. But after the fact, I got the most beautiful message thanking me for everything that we're doing and helping her and taking the time out to go talk to her. And she apologized. So, you know, whenever I feel like I'm getting burnt out, something really good happens. And we built like a recovery family, and it's awesome.
Good for you. That's really amazing.
Yeah.
What's been the hardest part?
There's so much that we want to do and not enough time or money to do it.
Not enough time or
money, yeah.
Time or money.
Yeah, yeah.
So we're always looking for volunteers to help out with.
Yes, most definitely.
There's so many great organizations around this area, and you know, like anything, if it's not top of mind, it's you just don't, you know, because you go through your day, and we all have full-time jobs, and you know,
right.
you get consumed in your day, and it's congratulations to you both, because that's awfully impressive to be able to take the remaining part of what's left in that day and to be able to put it towards something you truly believe in, and that's going to be. That is so important in an area like this. You hear more and more, and let's face it, we're going to continue to hear.
Yeah, well, we love our community, so, I mean, the bottom line, these people are coming back if they're incarcerated, back to our community, so we want them treated. I mean, they're a person, they're a loved one of somebody, and we want to get them treated so they can be, you know,
successful.
Become part
in
of
our
society.
Communities. Yes,
and live
exactly.
here
Right.
And yeah, that's amazing stuff. Have you had some amazing stories of folks that may be able to stick to the program?
Yeah.
And as far as that must make it all worthwhile.
Yeah, we have a couple coaches that have been with us since the beginning and did a lot of parades with us, and you know, they've thanked us for being there, and it gave them a purpose. And when you're in recovery, you want to give back. So for them to be able to help others, you know, find their pathway to recovery, you could just see the passion in them. They love it. So
That's incredible.
Yeah, it is really nice.
Well, don't forget about the brat fry, burger fry on Thursday, June 21st. Leroy meets in HorrorCon from 10:30 until 2. So bring your appetite and bring a few extra bucks if you can spare it, because all the money will be going to this year's Children Radiothon. And ladies, I appreciate you coming out, and Kathy Teletsky and Wendy Warner.
Thank you.
Both from Care for Dodge County. Amazing, impressive stuff, and especially for a newer organization. And welcome to the Children's Radiothon.
And thank you to Good Karma for having us this
We
year.
were just talking. Yeah,
Yes.
this will be year 21. So hopefully we can get over the $2 million mark, which again, 100% of that stays here. We donate the time for. Because it's obviously such a huge event to put on.
Yes.
We donate all the time for the teammates here that have been doing the legwork for months, and Taylor Kruger and Brenda Murphy, and they lead it up this year for everything Radiothon. So they're doing a great job, and it takes a lot of time. But every penny that we do raise from y'all's events or the on-air auction or whatever, the donations, at 100% of it stays with the Radiothon. So.
We appreciate it. We appreciate that, you know, building back our community. It's a great, great fundraising.
It is.
Yeah. So thank you for choosing us as the new organization.
Yeah, absolutely. It's amazing what you've been able to accomplish in such a short period of time. And like I said, unfortunately, it's going to probably be growing the need, and that people need help from you guys.
Yeah.
And until one day, hopefully, there won't be a need for your organization anymore. That would be the ultimate.
I would like that.
The ultimate goal: sit on a beach and then, like, you know what, we're done.
Well, we could still be there for sober events. Like, we
Sure.
build a sober environment, but we don't want to have to get people to recovery.
Right.
Because we don't want them there.
Absolutely. Well, thank you, ladies, very much. That'll do us today for community comment.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
Searching for a new career? Visit the Help Wanted page at DailyDodge.com, presented by John Deere Horicon Works. Here are some of the great opportunities that await you. Recheck's Food Pride is looking for a full-time cake decorator. The YMCA has an opening for a childcare and assistant teacher. And Awesome Transport is looking for over-the-road truck drivers. For more great career opportunities, visit the Help Wanted page at DailyDodge.com. Brought to you by John Deere Horicon Works, now hiring for multiple full-time openings.
Think pink, dress pink, bring pink, be pink. Join the fun at the 14th annual Pink Ribbon Classic Ladies Golf Invitational on Wednesday, June 13th at Old Hickory Golf Club. The Pink Ribbon Classic Golf Outing is a step-aside scramble that promotes breast cancer awareness and supports the University of Wisconsin Carbone Cancer Center and the Beaver Dam Community Hospital Breast Health Program. The event features golfing, raffles, prizes, lunch, and dinner. The day begins at 10:30 a.m. with registration and lunch. A shotgun start at noon kicks off the golf outing, and a silent auction, dinner, and educational guest speaker round out the evening. Sign up today by calling 920-887-7534. Be a part of the celebration and join in on the fun at the 14th annual Pink Ribbon Classic Golf Outing by calling 920-887-7534.
Night vision was getting very poor.
Lee Shackner saw the ophthalmologist at Vita Park Eye Associates in Beaver Dam.
I went to the doctor for my eye exam, and of course he said I have cataracts in each eye and I should have surgery. There's no discomfort, there's no pain. You don't really feel anything. Before I went in for surgery, my vision was basically, I had farsightedness. I needed readers for everything I did. At the end, I have better than 20/20 vision. I had complete confidence in Dr. Castillo, and everything went exactly as he said. I have no complaints. It's wonderful.
Dr. Thomas Castillo and Dr. Jay Wilkins are the surgeons at Vita Park Eye Associates, where your eyes are among things in life that can improve with age. Ask about lifestyle implants today, partially covered.